Have you ever felt like something inside you is changing, but you can't explain why? As if your mind and heart are trying to show you a path that few can see. What if I told you that this calling is not a coincidence, but a sign that your soul is ready for a great transformation? Today, you will discover the hidden signs that indicate that your life is about to take a spiritual leap of no return. Before we continue, I want you to do 3 things right now. Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell. This ensures that you receive more content like this and continue your awakening journey. And more. Comment right now, "I'm ready for change." This comment is not just a sentence. It is a commitment to your evolution, a signal to the universe that you accept this transformation and are prepared for the next level. Now take a deep breath and prepare yourself. Because what I'm about to reveal next could change your perception of life forever. Since the ancient times of humanity, there have been reports of people who felt an inexplicable call to something greater. Have you ever wondered why certain events happen at exactly the right time? Or why does your soul seem to have been guided to this very moment? The truth is that nothing happens by chance. The universe operates with an almost divine precision, leading each human being along paths that often defy rational logic. This calling that resonates within you is no coincidence. It is a profound awakening, an invitation to see beyond the illusion of everyday reality and realize that there is a much greater purpose awaiting you. Perhaps, at various times in your life, you have felt an inexplicable restlessness. A feeling that there is something more, something hidden behind the monotonous routine of the material world. This feeling is not a figment of your imagination, but rather an echo of your soul trying to communicate. She knows that the time of your transformation is near, that the answers you have always sought are closer than ever. But to access them, you need to open your mind and heart to the signals that the universe constantly sends you. This is the first step towards a path of no return, where your understanding of existence will expand beyond what you ever imagined. The wake-up call can arise in different ways, through deep experiences of synchronicity, the feeling of displacement among people, or even an inexplicable pain that seems to have no physical origin. This call can intensify in moments of crisis, as it is in these periods that we are more likely to question reality and seek something beyond the visible. You were guided here because your soul is already prepared for change. The question now is not whether you will accept this transformation, but when you will allow it to happen completely. Perhaps without realizing it, you have already noticed small signs that something in your life is changing. These are subtle but powerful signs that indicate your consciousness is expanding. A discomfort with old beliefs, a growing need to be in quiet places, a feeling that the world around you no longer vibrates at the same frequency as before. These are clear symptoms of an internal transformation, a spiritual adjustment that occurs when the soul begins to free itself from the bonds of the material world. Your perception is refining, allowing you to see beyond illusions and begin to understand the truth about your existence. This process can be confusing and even scary. You may feel like you are moving away from people you once identified with, or find that certain situations that once seemed important to you now seem superficial and empty. This happens because your vibration is rising, and everything that does not resonate with this new frequency naturally begins to dissipate. It's as if a curtain is being pulled back, revealing a completely new scene. Many people try to resist this change, as the unknown always causes fear. But those who accept this calling and move forward discover a world filled with hidden meanings and indescribable spiritual experiences. If you feel like you are in a time of transition, don't fight it. Instead of fearing it, embrace this change with confidence. The transformation has already begun, and the universe never puts challenges in our path without first preparing us to face them. Every experience you have had so far has been part of a grand plan to lead you to this exact moment. There are no mistakes, there are no coincidences, just a perfect flow of events that brought him to the threshold of a new reality. If this video is making sense to you so far, it's because your transformation has already begun. The universe is already moving everything in your favor, opening doors that previously seemed closed. And remember, gratitude is one of the most powerful energies for manifesting blessings in your life. If you feel that this video is helping you, click the button "Worth It Too Much" and send an amount of up to $100 as a gesture of gratitude to the universe. This simple act could be the key to unlocking even more abundance on your journey. Now keep watching, because what comes next could be the answer you've been searching for. Have you ever had the feeling that certain numbers appear to you over and over again? How to look at the clock and see 11:11 several times? Or bump into someone unexpectedly at the exact moment you needed that conversation? These occurrences are not simple coincidences, but rather synchronicities, subtle messages from the universe trying to tell you something. As your consciousness begins to expand, you become more receptive to these signals. The reality around you begins to respond to your thoughts and emotions in an almost magical way, showing that you are connected to a higher intelligence that guides every step of your path. Synchronicities can manifest themselves in different ways. Phrases that are repeated in different places, dreams that seem like predictions of the future, or even finding a book that contains exactly the answers you were looking for. Many people ignore these signs, attributing them to chance, but those who are awake know that each seemingly random event carries deep meaning. These messages are reminders that you are not alone, that there is a purpose behind every experience. The universe is always whispering secrets to those who have the sensitivity to hear them. The question is, are you paying attention? Or are you so caught up in the rush of everyday life that you ignore these signs? Synchronicity is a gift to those who have learned to observe and interpret the invisible patterns of reality. If you have noticed this phenomenon in your life, know that you are on the right path. The next step is to trust this connection and allow the universe to guide you, without fear, into the transformation that is to come. One of the first effects of spiritual awakening is a change in the perception of time. You begin to notice that certain moments seem to stretch on infinitely, while others pass in the blink of an eye. This happens because your mind is beginning to understand that time is not linear, but rather a construction of our human perception. The past and the future begin to lose their hold on you, and the only thing that really matters is the present, the now, where everything happens. This transformation can be disconcerting at first. You may feel like you are disconnected from the conventional rhythm of society, as if you live in a different time stream. Many awakened people report episodes of déjà vu, selective memory lapses, or an increasing difficulty worrying about deadlines and trivial obligations. This happens because your soul is tuning into a new rhythm, a natural rhythm, which is beyond the clock and the impositions of everyday life. When you surrender to this flow, you realize that everything happens exactly when it's supposed to happen, without the need for control or anxiety. Living in the absolute present is one of the greatest challenges of awakening, as we have been conditioned from an early age to worry about the future and carry the burdens of the past. But as your consciousness expands, this awareness dissolves, and you begin to experience true freedom. Time stops being a burden and becomes an ally, a companion that works in your favor. Everything flows at the right time, and you finally understand that now is the only real moment. As your consciousness expands, your sensitivity to the world around you intensifies. Once neutral places now feel charged with energy. Some people leave you exhausted without explanation, and crowds can become oppressive. Your body and mind are adjusting to a new vibration, allowing you to perceive nuances invisible to ordinary eyes. You can feel emotions before the words are even spoken, capture the pain hidden in a smile, and even know when something bad or good is about to happen. This deeper connection to the energy around you is not a burden, but a gift, as it means you are tuning into your true nature. With this heightened sensitivity, your intuition becomes stronger. You begin to distinguish between environments that recharge your energy and those that drain it. Contact with nature becomes essential, as the simple act of touching a tree or feeling the wind can bring inexplicable peace. Your dreams become more vivid, full of symbolic and premonitory messages. Furthermore, certain old habits may no longer make sense, such as eating heavy foods, watching violent content, or staying in toxic relationships. Your body rejects what is not aligned with its new vibration, and you feel a natural calling to take better care of yourself, physically and spiritually. However, this new perception can be challenging. You may feel emotions that are not yours, pick up on other people's suffering, and sometimes feel overwhelmed. The secret to balancing this sensitivity is not in closing yourself off, but in learning to filter the energies around you. Techniques such as meditation, visualization, and grounding can help you strengthen your energy field and keep your vibration high. Over time, you will realize that this sensitivity is your greatest strength, a compass that guides you away from what is not good for you and towards your true purpose. At some point in the journey, an existential void appears that is difficult to ignore. What once gave you pleasure no longer satisfies. Superficial conversations seem meaningless, and the mechanical routine of life loses its shine. You feel a growing restlessness, as if something bigger is calling to you, but you still can't understand exactly what. This feeling is not random. It is one of the clearest signs that your soul is trying to guide you to your true purpose. It's no longer about following the flow imposed by society, but about finding your own path, the one that makes your essence vibrate and your existence have real meaning. This calling can manifest itself in different ways. Perhaps you have become interested in spiritual topics, feeling the need to learn about energy, consciousness, and expansion. Maybe you felt the urge to move away from certain environments and people that were once part of your routine, but now seem to be on a different frequency than you. This disconnection from the old world can generate confusion and even fear, as it often feels like you are losing what you have built throughout your life. But the truth is, you're not losing anything. You're just letting go of what no longer resonates with who you really are. The search for purpose can be lonely at first, but it will lead you to find people who share your awakening. You will begin to realize that your mission is not just about you, but about something bigger. Your calling may be about helping others, healing, teaching, creating, inspiring. The key to discovering your true purpose is listening to your intuition and observing what makes your heart vibrate. When you connect with this energy, the universe begins to open doors that previously seemed locked. And when you finally find your purpose, your entire existence starts to make sense. As the spiritual journey progresses, something inexplicable happens. The feeling that there is a greater force guiding each step of your life becomes increasingly evident. It is no longer just an abstract belief, but a real, tangible experience. You begin to feel a deep connection to something beyond the physical world, an invisible but undeniable presence that seems to always be at your side. This connection can manifest itself through signs, intuitions, or moments of deep inner peace, where everything makes sense, even without logical explanation. Dreams become more vivid and often carry messages that seem to come from a higher source. You may begin to feel inexplicable chills, notice flashing lights around you, or even have the feeling that you are being guided through decisive moments in your life. This proximity to the divine has nothing to do with religion, but rather with an expanded consciousness, where you realize that there is something greater sustaining all reality. The more you surrender to this connection, the more the signs intensify, and the separation between the physical and spiritual world begins to dissolve. This awakening can bring challenges. Many people around you will not understand this transformation and may even doubt what you are experiencing. But this is part of the process. The veil that separates the worlds has never been thinner, and those who are awakening are able to see beyond the materialistic illusion. True connection with the divine does not come from empty dogmas or rituals, but from the realization that everything is interconnected and that your soul has always known this. The more you trust this flow, the clearer your mission becomes, and the more you align with the truth of the universe. In the midst of awakening, you begin to realize that you are no longer the same person you were before. Something inside you is changing irreversibly. Your tastes, your desires, your thoughts, everything seems to be undergoing a profound transformation. You can even try to go back to your old habits, but something inside you just won't let you. Your being is reconfiguring itself to a new frequency, and what made sense in the past no longer resonates with your new vibration. This transmutation can cause moments of confusion, as it is as if you are losing your old identity. What once defined your personality seems to no longer have value, and new facets of your being begin to emerge. You may feel a sudden need to change your diet, the way you dress, your hobbies, and even your social circle. This does not mean that you are losing yourself, but rather that you are freeing yourself from the layers imposed by society and getting closer to your true essence. Accepting this change is essential. Many people resist this process, trying to hold on to what is no longer part of them, which can cause suffering. But those who embrace this transformation discover something surprising: true freedom. You no longer need to fit into standards. You no longer need to please others. You can simply be who you were born to be. And that is the greatest gift of spiritual awakening. With the expansion of consciousness, dreams are no longer just reflections of the unconscious and become true portals to other dimensions. You may begin to have extremely vivid dreams, full of details and deep meanings. Sometimes they seem more real than the vigil itself, and can contain symbolic messages, premonitions, or even encounters with spiritual beings. What once seemed like just a random sequence of images now makes sense within the context of your spiritual journey. You will often wake up with a feeling that you have received important information, even if you cannot remember it completely. This happens because during sleep, your soul connects to higher planes, where it receives guidance and insights about the path you are taking. The key to understanding these dreams lies in attention and interpretation. Keeping a dream journal can help you identify recurring patterns and messages. You will notice that over time, your night visions will begin to become clearer and more direct. The world of dreams is a bridge between the visible and the invisible, and those who know how to use it can access deep knowledge about themselves and the universe. Spiritual awakening is often accompanied by a deep feeling of loneliness. You may feel like you no longer fit into your old social circles, that ordinary conversations seem superficial, that the people around you don't understand what you're going through. This sensation can be painful, but it is a fundamental stage of the process. Before you can connect with your true essence, you need to step away from external distractions and look within. Isolation is not a punishment, but an opportunity for self-knowledge, a moment when the universe invites you to delve deeper into your own truth. During this phase, it's common to feel like no one really understands what you're going through. You can try to explain your new perception of the world, but you will realize that many simply cannot see what you see. This can lead to frustration and sometimes even a desire to return to normal. But what is normal? Live according to imposed standards, ignoring your own soul. This isolation, as painful as it may seem, is a gift. It allows you to eliminate external influences and discover who you really are without the need for other people's approval. It is in this period of silence that answers begin to emerge, spiritual connections deepen, and your true mission begins to reveal itself. Over time, you will realize that this loneliness is not eternal. New people will appear in your life, people who vibrate at the same frequency as you, who share the same vision, and who understand your journey without you having to explain anything. These new connections will be deep, authentic, and based on a greater purpose. But before they arrive, you need to go through the process of letting go of the old. The solitude of awakening is not an end, but a portal. And those who cross it with courage discover a new world, where true companionship does not come from the outside, but from their own connection with the divine. With spiritual awakening, one of the first things you will notice is that your thoughts and emotions begin to shape reality much more intensely and quickly. Before, it seemed like your desires took time to come true, but now everything happens almost instantly. You think of someone and they get in touch. You want something and suddenly the universe puts that opportunity in your path. This acceleration of manifestation is not a coincidence, but rather a reflection of your vibrational elevation. The more conscious you become, the more aligned you are with the laws of the universe. And one of them is that everything you project in your mind has the power to materialize. However, this new reality requires responsibility. Just as positive thoughts generate surprising results, negative thoughts can also manifest quickly. Fears, insecurities, and doubts can create blocks and attract unwanted experiences. Therefore, it is essential to cultivate a balanced mental state where you learn to direct your energy towards what you really want. The mind is a powerful tool, and the universe works like a mirror. It reflects back everything you project. If you cultivate gratitude, love, and trust, you will receive more situations that reinforce these energies. If you focus on fear and scarcity, you will attract challenges that reflect these feelings. Learning to master this power of manifestation is one of the greatest challenges of awakening. The secret is not in controlling every thought, but in consciously choosing where to place your attention. The more you practice positive visualization and align yourself with heightened emotions, the faster your reality will transform. You realize that you are no longer a victim of circumstances, but rather the creator of your own experience. And this realization changes everything. When consciousness expands, the physical body responds. You may begin to notice unexplained changes, strange sensations, and even physical symptoms that traditional medicine cannot explain. Some people feel pressure on their forehead, as if a new sense is activating. Others experience chills, tingling, or sudden changes in body temperature. Your body is adjusting to a new frequency, becoming a more refined channel to capture the energies of the universe. These changes are not only physical, but also mental and emotional. You may feel more sensitive, more empathetic, more intuitive. Situations that previously didn't affect you can now seem overwhelming, and your tolerance for harsh environments or negative people decreases drastically. Your eating habits may also change, with your body rejecting foods that were previously part of your diet. This happens because it is asking for more clean energy, more high vibration, and dense foods can hinder this process. While some of these sensations may be uncomfortable, it is essential to understand that they are part of the energetic adjustment you are going through. Your being is preparing to operate in a new reality, and these signs are just indications that the transformation is underway. Listen to your body, respect its limits, and understand that every change brings a purpose. You are not getting sick, you are being reborn. There is a moment in the awakening journey when all the pieces of the puzzle begin to fall into place. You look back and realize that every experience, every pain, every doubt had a greater purpose. The suffering you faced was not in vain. It prepared you for this very moment where you finally begin to understand who you truly are, and this revelation changes everything. You realize that you are not just a human being having a spiritual experience, but rather an eternal soul having a human experience. This new perception brings indescribable freedom. You stop worrying about other people's opinions because you understand that the only truth that matters is the one that resonates within you. Fears that previously limited you begin to disappear as the certainty that your existence transcends this reality becomes unshakable. You understand that your essence goes far beyond the physical body, beyond social narratives, beyond the illusions of the ego. You are a fragment of the divine, a spark of light exploring the vastness of the universe. However, this revelation can also be challenging. Many people, when they reach this point, feel a certain nostalgia, as if they were remembering something they always knew but had forgotten. This is a sign that your soul is reconnecting with its true origin. And the more you accept this truth, the more your life transforms, bringing clarity, purpose, and a deep sense of inner peace. With the expansion of consciousness, one of the greatest internal changes happens. The fear of death begins to disappear. You come to understand that death is not an end, but only a transition, a passage to another form of existence. The illusion of separation between life and death dissolves, and you begin to see the immortality of the soul as an indisputable reality. This knowledge does not come from books or religious doctrines, but from a deep sensation that echoes within your being. This new vision completely transforms your relationship with life. You realize that there is no need to live in haste, fear, or regret. Each experience has a purpose, each mistake is a learning experience, and each challenge is an opportunity for evolution. Anxiety about the future dissolves as you understand that time is just an illusion and that everything happens exactly as it should. This understanding brings indescribable peace. You stop seeing death as an enemy and start seeing it as a natural process of existence. The focus stops being the end and becomes the now, living with intensity, loving without restrictions, and enjoying each moment with gratitude. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is the experience your soul is having right now. Getting to this point in the journey is not easy. You have gone through moments of doubt, of loneliness, of profound transformation. But now, you're facing the last step, the one that really defines who you will become from now on. You are no longer the same person who started this journey. You have awakened to a greater reality, understood the mysteries of the universe, and freed yourself from the chains that previously limited you. The big change is not external, but internal. It doesn't mean that your life will become perfect overnight, but rather that you will develop a new perspective on everything that happens around you. You will not despair in the face of challenges, as you will know that everything is part of a greater purpose. You will no longer feel like you are alone, because you will understand that the universe has always been by your side, guiding your every step. Now you have two choices: return to the world as if nothing has changed, or embrace your new consciousness and move forward with courage. Awakening has no way back. Once you see the truth, you can no longer ignore it. You are ready for the big change. The universe awaits you.